Hello and welcome back. This is Dr. Suzanne, and I wanted to talk about the three patterns or the three types of marriages we encounter. And this is based on my understanding of what happens in the Bible, Genesis 1:27, Genesis 2:18, Genesis 2:22. I had a patient, she is 62 years old, 62, and she came today, and as we were talking, she told me that she's divorced. I was like, you divorced? When did you divorce? She divorced 2 years ago. And I asked her, what happened? She said, she gave me a little bit of the details, but her husband, as we speak, is 76 years old. And I didn't understand. I dug into the social history. The husband is a very successful medical doctor. He still practices a little bit. He's a urologist. And she had her master's in business administration, doing very well. They already had grown children, but not together. They had their children in separate relationships. And they had the lifestyle everybody is dreaming about, I guess, big mansions, big cars, just abundance. And I didn't really put one and one together. What actually happened? So she told me that there were two main issues. One, the husband was jealous. He was very jealous and always suspecting her to having boyfriends younger than him. And then two, what really got her was the emotional oppression. She said that he was verbally abusive, not physically, but verbally. Then I asked her, what was he actually saying or doing? And she said he was very demeaning. He was belittling her, calling her names, and the constant accusation of having extramarital affairs was just too much. And they just divorced 2 years ago. And, going deeper, I'm not going to, just tell all the details of the marital story, but I would classify this type of relationship as a karmic. Usually karmic relationships are very emotionally draining, especially for the women. And the men are sometimes characterized as narcissistic. But why am I talking about this? Is because the women that are in this type of relationship tend to have a lot of physical and medical chronic issues you can really understand the origin of. She, for example, told me that she had a thyroid lump that was removed surgically. She found herself with, pains in her body she doesn't understand, but we actually have a diagnosis for that. We call that chronic fatigue syndrome, and we usually say it occurs in women above 50 years old, right? She has just a series of misfortunes. She started having seizures. She just has broken stuff without notice. But if you trace it very well, women who are in relationships where they are emotionally oppressed tend to have a lot of stress hormones. They have cortisol, they have all kinds of things, and this contributes to creating an environment of inflammation. And they don't realize that. Not only they have that, they also have depression. They tend to have anxiety. They live in fear because they don't know what else they are supposed to do to please a man they love, because they love and they give their all, but it appears as if it's not shared. So Yeah. I believe I'm going to do a video about the different types of marriages and the consequences on the health of women, and other things, the behavior, the longevity of the relationship. Karmic relationship almost always break up. There's always a divorce somehow, unless the woman decides to stay in the relationship. And for some reason, it's always the men that are oppressing the women. Unless they decide to stay in this type of marriage because they don't have anywhere else to go. And sometimes you can see the mothers back home in Africa, most of the time, they can stay in oppressive marriages for a long time. And when they have children abroad, and those children give birth to their grandkids, they take off. They decide to go live with their child. You would think that, oh, she's such a wonderful grandma, she's going to babysit. No, she's running away from this man who oppressed her entire life. I'm telling you, women are going through a lot. But I'll do a video about that later. All right? Well, thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you later. Bye.